Welcome back to Vinyl Decal School. Thanks for joining me. So in this video, I thought I would just go over all of the different places you can sell your vinyl decals. I'm not going to go into fee structures and stuff like that because I go into that in a bit more detail in my latest course. I'll link to that in the description. You can get a 2-week free trial if you sign up with Skillshare. Take that and my other courses, as well as loads and loads of other amazing ones. So yeah, this will just be more of like a quick overview of all the different places you can consider if you want to start selling. So the first one is probably the most traditional one, and that is just selling in person. So that could be just to people you know, selling out of your house, or going to craft fairs. A lot of that is a bit difficult at the moment. Or selling from a physical shop, either one you own or one someone else owns. So the pros of this is that you get to chat to people in real life, which is not only quite nice if you like that face-to-face interaction, but it gives you a chance to see reactions in real time and ask them questions and see if there's any other kind of stuff that they might want you to make in future. And it's giving you kind of feedback you might not get anywhere else. The cons of this though, in terms of selling vinyl decals, is it's a lot harder to make custom items. If you're selling to people you know, you still want to be asking for payment up front, and that can be a little bit awkward sometimes. But if you don't ask for that payment up front and you make something custom and they change their mind or they don't turn up for it or whatever, then you've lost out on that money and time and you can't resell it. Or if you're at a craft fair, I guess you could take your machine with you, but it means people have got to wait for you to make that thing for them. And again, they might not come back unless you're asking for payment up front again. Also, craft fairs and paying to sell stuff in other people's shops can potentially be really expensive, and there's no guarantee that you're even going to make a sale. But if you much prefer doing things in person and you're not particularly tech savvy, then that might be the best option for you. And it might be a good place to start as well. Just start selling in person, see what is popular, and then kind of grow other sales channels from there. Then your next option after that, and probably the next easiest, is to sell through Facebook or Instagram or another kind of social media channel. And there's like a few different ways you could do this. So there's Facebook Marketplace, which tends to be more for local selling, and it is kind of known as like a second-hand place to sell stuff, but I've seen lots of businesses selling on there as well, so you could definitely sell vinyl decals on there. The only problem with that is it doesn't really give you any options for managing your sales properly. You'd have to do it all manually, and there might be a lot of back and forth between customers, and it could be quite a time-consuming way to do things. But again, it might be a good place to start if you want to kind of focus on selling in your local area. Or if you want to just create a Facebook business page and sell through there, you can just take orders via direct message, and that can be linked up to your Instagram account as well, and you can kind of run it through Facebook Business Manager. But again, that's going to take manual organising of your orders and might be a lot of back and forth between customers. So if you've got tons of orders coming through, this might get quite confusing. And that's the same as selling through Facebook buy and sell groups as well. This could be a good place to start though if you've got a really specific niche that you want to sell your decals to. So join some groups that are full of people who are interested in your niche, but you just have to make sure that you're allowed to actually sell stuff in those groups. Some of them let you sell or promote a business once a month, or some of them completely ban selling. You just have to check the rules and see what is allowed. Of course, there is also an option to create a Facebook or Instagram shop now too. This can be linked to an external website where people go to your Facebook page, click on the item they want to buy, and then it takes them to that selling page on your website and they can check out from there. Or they can check out via Messenger and PayPal Business, I guess, which is similar to just selling through your page, but a bit quicker. Or apparently in the US now, you can create a shop and sell directly through Facebook, and they take a fee of a certain amount off every sale. It doesn't exist in the UK, so I can't even try it out. But I will link the details to all of the information I found on Facebook help page about it in the description, so if you're in the US you can check that out and have a look. I've personally never had any love for selling through Facebook or using Facebook Business Manager. I just find it a bit clunky, and for some reason notifications never show up, so I miss messages all the time. So it's not for me personally, but I do know there are a lot of people that sell through Facebook and have a lot of success. So it could be a good choice for you, especially if a lot of your customers already hang out there as well. But if you're not wanting to sell via social media and you want somewhere that will kind of manage your orders a bit better, so you don't have to do it all manually, then selling marketplaces are kind of your next step up from there. So there is Etsy, which is kind of one of the most well-known places, I think, for buying from small businesses and buying things that are handmade. So there is a lot of competition on there, especially for decals, but the customer base is huge. So if you can find a way to stand out, then it's a great place to be. They also do charge quite high fees in comparison to other sites, but customers do seem to expect that they will pay like a little bit more on Etsy, so you can usually put your prices up a little bit more than you would on Amazon or eBay to kind of cover those extra fees. But again, if you want to find out how to price your decals, don't forget to check out my latest course on Skillshare. I absolutely love selling on Etsy, and I'm not sure I would have had as much success if I didn't start there, just because my chosen niche of weddings was already so popular on there. And I also found it like really easy to get started. If you're just starting out, I do have a video on how to add new listings on Etsy. I link to that here. And I've got a link in the description which gives you 40 free listings when you sign up, so you can start a shop completely free. So next on my list is Amazon or Amazon Handmade. I tried to use Amazon Handmade, but I found it absolutely excruciating to add listings to, so I never got very far with it, to be honest. And I kind of figured I didn't want to put the effort in. I was already making enough sales on Etsy, so I didn't get very far. They do constantly send me videos on like how to make the most of their shop. So I think if you did want to get into it, I'm sure you could crack it much better than me, because obviously the customer base on Amazon is exponential. I mean, they've got to be the #1 selling marketplace in the world, surely. I should have probably looked that up before I did the video, but I'm just assuming, considering how rich Jeff Bezos is. So yeah, customer base on Amazon would be absolutely massive, and it's definitely worth thinking about if your target customer is someone who probably shops on Amazon all of the time. And then the next one, which is like the third of the big three, I guess, is eBay. Traditionally, eBay is seen as somewhere where people went to kind of sell and buy their secondhand goods. However, they do seem to be trying to change their tactics to target small businesses to sell on there and let people know that small businesses are selling on there, as I've got the feeling they want to try and compete with Etsy. So it is definitely worth looking into, especially if there aren't that many competing sellers in your niche, or if you don't see the type of vinyl decal on there that you do. Then there are obviously loads of other marketplaces like this. I mean, you could sell on Depop, even though that's mostly clothes. I see lots of other random stuff on there all the time. And then there's some that are kind of more targeted at different niches, or they only sell nationally. So all you really need to do is Google small business online marketplace, or like where to buy from small businesses online. Just look for search terms like that, see what comes up, and see if there are any that you think would really suit your niche or have good fee structures or sell in your local area. The good thing about selling on marketplaces is none of the ones I've mentioned anyway are exclusive. So if you sell on Etsy, you can also sell on eBay or Amazon or Depop or plenty of other marketplaces. And the majority of them are free to start on as well. So if you've got the time, you may as well try a few out, see which one you do better on, and then kind of build up from there. So then the last option is your own website. This is the most expensive option if you're not selling anything yet, but potentially the cheapest option if you're selling quite a lot, because a lot of them are like a fixed monthly fee and then just a small percentage on PayPal fees or Stripe fees or whatever. And I personally think it's a really good idea to get a website at some point, maybe not straight away, but like further down the line, definitely. Just so that you've got your own little spot on the internet, you can brand it as you like, and you're kind of not putting your eggs in the basket of someone else who could get rid of your shop overnight. Hopefully that would never happen, but you just don't know what's going to happen with other people's online property overnight. And if you've got your own space to sell things, you don't need to worry about that. The only problem with having your own website is, and why I say maybe it's something you should get later down the line, is that you have to do all of the marketing for it yourself, obviously. And unless you're really good at building like a big social media following or have like tricks to get people to your site, you might need to spend money on advertising in the beginning. So if you can build up your brand recognition on social media, kind of build up customer trust and reviews on a marketplace site, then direct people back to your website when they want to buy more, then that's a really good option. I only just opened a Shopify website very recently, and I've got a video here with my first impressions if you want to have a look at that. But you don't have to do Shopify, you could code your own website if you know how, or get something way more simple. But if you want to sell via a website, then it does need to have that functionality built into it. So this was just a super quick overview. I'm sure I've missed tons of options. If there's somewhere else you sell that you think is really great, let me know in the comments. And if you're in the US and you've tried out Facebook shops and it's going well for you, I'd love to know that as well. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this in future, and thanks for watching.